Out of GMS Lions Den. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the brothers that's out there pushing forth this truth. This video was just posted, you know what I'm saying, some hours ago, and I've been up ever since I got for work, but it's kind of late. But basically, St. Petersburg Metro blast. Basically, a bomb went off in St. Petersburg. Have something to do with Russia, but you know what I'm saying, tragedies and things going on around this four corners, man. This year is death, destruction, and diligence. Man, every time I go outside the door to go off to work, man, I'm seeing all these dead animals lying around. Just today, before I got on the bus, it was spiritual. It was a dead bird right in front of me. Because famine finna come, more destruction, more death, more things are finna come to America, man. But just want to play this clip. It's a very long video. Y'all brothers more welcome to go check the video out. It's about like 5 hours long. But I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I ain't gonna play the whole thing.
That something was going to happen? Were they actually following people? Was there something that perhaps should have triggered something, an alert? All of those questions will be equally applicable, of course, in the case of Russia.
And Charles, as a counter-terrorism expert, of course, you've got in-depth knowledge of the different explosive devices and the sort of damage they can do. I presume by this point you've had a chance to see those pictures of the door of the metro carriage blasted out, which to a layman like me seems like it was a really significant blast. And my initial thought was, how was it that only 10 people were killed? And we've heard reports that this was a pretty packed metro train, and I just wonder from you...
Oh yeah, 10 people was killed. I forgot to say that part.
Your first reaction when hearing on the number of fatalities?
Yes, you're right. I looked at the video and you can actually see the doors are blasted out on both sides of the carriage. But interestingly, the superstructure, if you like, of the train itself doesn't appear to be that damaged, at least in the videos I've seen. So that might suggest, again, it's a first introductory thing to say. I mean, it would require a lot more examination, but from what I've seen superficially looking at these videos, it would appear that the device was actually by those doors, which of course would be consistent with leaving perhaps a package there. Depending on the nature of the explosive, you can still have quite powerful homemade explosives. If you think about the London bombings, 3 of those were tube trains, 3 of the 4 bombings back in 2005. And the way that blast works, and indeed shrapnel works, can appear to be quite random. So, for example, I think on one train you might have had 5 or 6 people killed, on another upwards of 25 or 30, I think, in one of the London attacks. And so it can be quite random, and it depends on how crowded the train is and so on. For example, if it's extremely crowded, it might actually reduce fatalities because shrapnel will be soaked up by bodies. It sounds harsh thing to say, but necessarily it's correct, rather than spreading to hit more people. And so a lot depends on the mechanics of that explosion in the actual carriage. But even the one that's gone off, of course, will be also providing a forensic goldmine in terms of explosive residues, in terms of fingerprints for parts and so on. And also, of course, the container for the device itself, whether that was a suitcase or something else, itself also, as well, tragically, as the bodies of those that have been injured and deceased, will also be providing clues for investigators. I think we can probably expect within days, at the latest, some indication, at least from the Russian investigators assisted by the intelligence services, as to perhaps who the suspects, or at least some of the suspects in this case, are.
Charles, thanks so much for joining us here on RT. Some really interesting analysis. Great to hear your interpretation of events there. Charles Shoebridge, counter-terrorism expert.
Well, the White House has meanwhile also reacted to the attack. Let's cross to our Washington correspondent, Gainer Chichikian, to find out more about what the reaction has been. Gainer, thanks for joining us. Obviously, we've heard an outpouring of condolences and solidarity from many.
It's funny though, they talking about pray for Saint Petersburg, you know, but the Lord said, man, pray not for these people, even though it was talking about, you know, 2/3 of Jake. But man, we don't care about these heathens, man. You know?
European states, foreign ministries. What's been the response on the other side of the Atlantic?
Well, we have President Trump's reaction to the tragedy in St. Petersburg. He briefly responded to a question from the media. Here's what he said.
Terrible thing happening all over the world. Absolutely a terrible thing.
Now, that was President Trump commenting on the attack in St. Petersburg, suggesting it is...
Hey, man, that Edomite funny, man. Edomite funny, man. That devil don't care nothing about them people, man. Just like we don't care about them heathens, man. But, you know what I'm saying? I was going to play a little bit of the clip. I was not going to play the whole thing. And, you know, you can go check it out. Breaking St. Petersburg Metro Blast. Go check out the video, or you could look up on CNN the news article and read about it. And I just want to show this clip for maybe the brothers that don't know. So, shalom.